பாய் எப்படி ஃபாரின் போயிட்டு அங்கே போய் எக்ஸ்ப்ளோர் பண்ணிட்டு how you ended up at doing Kolapasi sir?
ஓகே ஒரு டாமினோஸ் ஒரு பர்கர் கிங் அந்த மாதிரி ஒரு பிரான்ச் எல்லா சிட்டிலுமே இருக்கும். ஆனால் எந்த சிட்டிலுமே வந்து ஒரு இந்தியன் ரெஸ்டாரண்ட் வித் சேம் பிராண்ட் இல்லை. வி ஆர் இன் 3 continents and we are probably one of the fastest growing South Indian restaurant across the world.
See, cloud kitchens are like happening now. For example, நிறைய பாசூஸ் அப்புறம் ரெபல் ஃபுட்ஸ்லாம் வந்துட்டு இப்போ நிறைய cloud kitchen ஓப்பன் பண்ணாங்க. How is the competition to you?
In my mind, TAM is bloody 8 billion people. Okay, so if your food is bad and they're going to tell you the food is bad, that is very critical. You need to listen to them.
See, cloud kitchens are like happening now. For example, நிறைய பாசூஸ் அப்புறம் ரெபல் ஃபுட்ஸ்லாம் வந்துட்டு இப்போ நிறைய cloud kitchen ஓப்பன் பண்ணாங்க. How is the competition to you?
It is very difficult to sustain only in a cloud kitchen model because 30-40% of your revenue goes to your aggregate. So not once in the last 12 years when we were very close to shutting down, me and Aditya had a conversation saying that Machan, it's too tough, let's close.
In Tamil Nadu, for sure I can say franchise is one of the most abused words at present.
EMI'S is the biggest scam which banks have come to take your money to make you work for 30-40 years. 95% of the restaurants shut down in the first 5 years. So you can say we have McDonaldized Indian cuisine.
So, hello guys, this is Devanand and you are watching me on Start-Preneur. I'll be speaking business with businessman and entrepreneur in this channel. So, the guest of our today's show is someone who is knowledgeable as well as pan-world multi-cuisine canteen owner, Mr. Santhosh Muruganantham sir, who is the founder of Kolapasi. Welcome to our show, sir.
Okay, 2 small changes. It's not multi-cuisine.
Okay,
it's only
Indian cuisine.
Sorry. And I'm just not the founder, I'm a co-founder.
Co-founder, okay, yeah. Sir. Okay, sir. So, if you have to give an intro, who is Santhosh Muruganantham is, what would be it, sir?
Santhosh Muruganantham is a general, run-of-the-mill, your next-door neighbor boy from Chennai, okay, where you can find me in every single street, right? The guy who is energetic, who is always fun, loving, exciting, and you'll always see this guy on the street playing cricket.
Okay.
That's the quintessential South Indian Chennai boy.
Authentic Chennai boy. ஒரு சென்னை பாய் எப்படி ஃபாரின் போயிட்டு அங்கே போய் எக்ஸ்ப்ளோர் பண்ணிட்டு how you ended up at doing Kolapasi, sir?
Okay. கொலபசி பண்ணணும்னு சொல்லிட்டு இல்லை பிளான் பண்ணல. இட் ஜஸ்ட் ஹேப்பன் இன் தட் வே. ஸோ பேசிக் ஸ்டோரி எல்லாருக்குமே இப்போ நீங்கள் சென்னையில் பிறந்தீங்கன்னா யூ ஒன்லி 2 ஆப்ஷன்ஸ். லைக் இஃப் யூ பார்ன் இந்த 80s or 90s, ரைட்? ஒன்லி 2 ஆப்ஷன்ஸ். இதை நீங்கள் இன்ஜினியரிங் படிக்கணும் இல்லை டாக்டர் பண்ணணும், ரைட்? ஸோ அதே மாதிரி நான் SBIயில் படித்தேன். தென் டிட் மை இன்ஜினியரிங் இன் ஸ்ரீராம் இன்ஜினியரிங் காலேஜ். அதுக்கப்புறம் வழக்கமாக இன்ஜினியரிங் படிச்சுட்டு இருக்கும்போது ஒன் ஆஃப் மை க்ளோஸ் ஃப்ரெண்ட் கூடயே இருப்பான், பெஸ்ட் ஃப்ரெண்ட் மதன் வந்து, அவங்க அண்ணன் வந்து he was in the US. So அவங்க அண்ணன் வந்து IIT மெட்ராஸ் யூஎஸ்ல போய் he was doing his masters. So this is like in a late 90s நான் இன்ஜினியரிங் பண்ணிருக்கும்போது அப்போ தான் வந்து I even knew that there is a concept that you can write GRE, TOEFL அப்படிலாம் எழுதிட்டு நீங்கள் ஃபாரின் போக முடியும்னு அப்போ I didn't even knew that. நான் இன்ஜினியரிங் படிக்கும்போது எனக்கு அப்படி கான்செப்டே தெரியாது. ஸோ அவன் படிச்சுட்டு இருந்தான், என்னடா அப்போ நீ மட்டும் படிச்சுட்டு யூஎஸ் போயிட்டு அப்போ நான் என்னடா பண்ணுவேன் சொல்லிட்டு, ஸோ அவன் படிக்கிறான்னு சொல்லிட்டு நானும் படிக்க ஆரம்பிச்சு அதுக்கப்புறம் யூஎஸ்லாம் போய் மாஸ்டர்ஸ் பண்ணிவிட்டு அண்ட் தென் மாஸ்டர்ஸ் பண்ணிட்டு இருக்கும் போது தான் ஐ ஃபவுண்ட் அ வெரி இன்ட்ரெஸ்டிங் பேட்டர்ன் அண்ட் இன்ட்ரெஸ்டிங் ப்ராப்ளம் டு பி சால்வ்ட். ஸோ நாங்கள் யூஎஸ்ல இருக்கும்போது ஐ யூஸ் டு ட்ராவல் அ லாட். எல்லாம் நிறைய சிட்டிஸ் யூஸ் டு ட்ராவல். ஈஸ்ட் கோஸ்ட்டில் ஆல்மோஸ்ட் எல்லா சிட்டிக்கும் நான் ட்ராவல் பண்ணிட்டேன். டெக்ஸஸ் மிட் வரைக்கும் எல்லாம் ட்ராவல் பண்ணும்போது எல்லா ஊருக்கும் போகும்போது வந்து எல்லா ஊர்லேயுமே ஒரு மெக்டானல்ட்ஸு, ஒரு சப்வே, ஒரு டாமினோஸ், ஒரு பர்கர் கிங், அந்த மாதிரி ஒரு பிரான்ச் எல்லா சிட்டிலுமே இருக்கும். ஆனால் எந்த சிட்டிலுமே வந்து ஒரு இந்தியன் ரெஸ்டாரண்ட் வித் சேம் பிராண்ட் இல்லை. இந்தியன் ரெஸ்டாரண்ட் வித் சேம் பிராண்ட். எல்லா ஊர்லேயும் இந்தியன் ரெஸ்டாரண்ட் இருக்குது, ஆனால் ஒரே பிராண்ட் இல்லை.
ஓகே, எல்லாமே ஸ்கேட்டர்ட் ஆகிருக்கு.
ஸ்கேட்டர்ட் ஆகிருக்குன்னு சொல்லலாம். ஆனால் வந்து என்னென்னா வந்து ஒரே பிராண்டை வந்து எல்லா சிட்டிலையும் ஓப்பன் பண்ண முடியல.
ஓகே. ஸோ
இப்போ நீங்கள் ஒரு ரெஸ்டாரண்ட்குள்ளே போகிறீங்கன்னா ஏன் அங்கே போகிறீங்க? உங்களுக்கு ஒரு டேஸ்ட் பிடிச்சிருக்கு, அந்த டேஸ்ட்டுக்காக போகிறீங்க, கரெக்டுங்களா? ஸோ அந்த டேஸ்ட்டை வந்து எல்லா இடத்துலையுமே வந்து ஒரே பிராண்டால் கொண்டு வர முடியாமல் ஒரு ப்ராப்ளம் இருந்துச்சு. திஸ் இஸ் லைக் 15-20 years பேக்.
ஓகே சார்.
அப்போ தான் வந்து இட் காட் மீ திங்கிங் தட் oh, where there is a problem, there is a big opportunity.
Okay.
இப்போ மற்ற குசின்ஸ் எல்லாம் ஸ்கேல் பண்ண ஆரம்பிச்சிட்டாங்க. இப்போ இந்த பர்கர்ஸ், பீஸா ஸ்கேல் பண்ணிட்டாங்க, சாண்ட்விச்சஸ் ஸ்கேல் பண்ணிட்டாங்க, நெக்ஸ்ட் மெக்சிகன் ஃபுட் ஸ்கேல் பண்ணிட்டாங்க. இந்தியன் ஃபுட் யாரும் ஒன்றும் ஸ்கேல் பண்ண முடியல, ரைட்? ஏன்னா இந்தியன் ஃபுட் இஸ் ப்ராப்ளி த டேஸ்டியஸ்ட் ஃபுட் இன் த வேர்ல்ட். we have close to no இல்லை we have close to 250,000 recipes இந்தியன் குசின்ல. நம்மளுக்கு செகண்ட் பார்த்தீங்கன்னா வந்து சைனா ப்ராப்ளி 40 to 50,000 ரெசிபிஸ் தான் இருக்குது. ஸோ வி ஆர் வெரி ரிச் இன் ஃபுட்டு, ஹெரிட்டேஜ், கல்ச்சர். அவ்வளோ சூப்பராக இருக்கும் ஃபுட்டை வந்து. தென் எவ்ரிபடி வுட் வாண்ட் டு டேஸ்ட் இந்தியன் ஃபுட், ஈட் இந்தியன் ஃபுட். பட் வை ஆர் தேர் நாட் ஏபிள் டு க்ரோ இந்தியன் ஃபுட்? ஏன் ஒன்று க்ரோ பண்ண முடியலன்னா தட் வாஸ் மை த ப்ராப்ளம் விச் இஸ் இன் மை ஹெட். And then when I came back to India, I took, okay, now is a good chance. இந்த ப்ராப்ளத்தில் வந்து let's put ஒரு 10 years. So here is entrepreneurship philosophy number 1. Okay, you need to dedicate 10 years of your life to years. Some minimum 10 years of your life to some problem to be solved. You know, that's the first step. நம்ம இப்போ எல்லாருமே வந்து what we think is like, you know, entrepreneurship is like, you know, ஒரு buy one get one offer மாதிரி போனா உடனே ஒரு 6 மாசத்துல பண்ணிடலாம், ஒரு வருஷத்துல பண்ணிடலாம் சொல்லிட்டு. So that's not the right thing according to me. I could be wrong, but according to me that you have to at least put 10 years of your life into something and show that you're very serious. So coming back to the Kolapasi story, appo I decided that, you know, I met my co-founder Aditya, and one other co-founder is Padmanabhan. This is my best friend from school. Naanga moonu perume we decided, okay, let's solve this problem. $1 billion problem.
Okay.
And then it took us 8-9 years to solve it. And today we are in 3 continents, and we are probably one of the fastest growing South Indian restaurants across the world right now. Every 1 month we are opening a restaurant.
Oh, so probably I want to ask you a definition actually. What is Kolapasi?
Kolapasi means extremely hungry in the oldest spoken language in the world, Tamil. Oldest spoken language. Okay, அதுக்கு முன்னாடி செல்வஸ் language இருந்திருக்கு, but அந்த languages are not being spoken right now. But oldest spoken language is Tamil. There's a lot of documentation, documented proof for that. So Kolapasi ஏன் நாங்கள் வச்சோன்னா, when we started 12 years back, 2012-13 start பண்ணும்போது, restaurant industry was a very serious industry. எல்லா ரெஸ்டாரண்ட்டும் has ஒரு பேர் வச்சு பவன், விலாஸ், அந்த மாதிரி தான், மெஸ், அப்படிதான் ரொம்ப சீரியஸாக இருக்கும் நேம்ஸ் எல்லாம். ஸோ வி வாண்ட் டு கம் பிரேக் தட் பேட்டர்ன் அண்ட், யூ நோ, கிவ் அ நியூ லீஸ் ஆஃப் லைஃப். தட் ரெஸ்டாரண்ட்ஸ் கேன் பி quirky, fun, exciting. ஓகேங்களா? வி வாண்ட் டு பில்ட் அ பிராண்ட் வேர் பீப்புள் கேன் செலிப்ரேட்.
ஓகே, த ஃபுட்,
the brand totally, not just the food, right? And the brand experience, like, you know, today we have a water bottle, like, you know, people love these water bottles.
Okay, sir.
Right? But if you put a very regular name, right, people would not want to carry those kind of bottles.
Okay,
right? So we want to build a Starbucks kind of a feel, where the brand, so people can be really proud. Hey, idu engloda McDonald's da, idu engloda Subway, right, idu engloda Domino's, like, you know. So now we have an answer for you guys. So we want to create a cool, funky brand, and for that we need to have a funky name. You can't do Santhosh Bhavan, Aditya Bhavan, right? You know, it's very so common, you know, or dull இருக்கும் சொல்லுவாங்க. So we want a very unique பேர் கேட்ட உடனே வந்து people should
hit.
என்னடா இது, யாரா அவனுங்க ரூம் போட்டு யோசிச்சு வச்சிருக்காங்களா பேர். We want to get that kind of feeling, and it was very weird. நாங்கள் ஸ்டார்ட் பண்ணும்போது நிறைய பேர் நான் சொல்லுவேன், ஸ்டார்ட் 2012-13 வந்து என்ன பண்ண போகிறேன், ரெஸ்டாரண்ட் ஸ்டார்ட் பண்ண போகிறேன், என்ன ரெஸ்டாரண்ட் பேரே ஃபர்ஸ்ட் வாயில வராது எங்களுக்கு. ஏன்னா ரொம்ப ஆக்வர்டா இருக்கும். என்னது கொலப்பசியா, அப்படி ஒரு ரெஸ்டாரண்டா? So that's why we wanted to keep that name, Kolapasi. Okay. We wanted to be very unique and different. ஏன்னா naming is actually free.
Okay, sir.
Right? So why wouldn't you keep an interesting name?
That's how Kolapasi.
Yeah.
Okay, sir. So how many restaurants do you currently have, sir?
We have close to 10 plus right now across the world. Okay. And then we have another 10
in the pipeline.
Another signed up another 7-8 irukku. Then every 1-2 months, in fact we have said no to probably 500-600 inquiries. So we are only focusing right now in Australia and North America. That's it.
Okay, sir. Which are the countries?
Right now in India, Australia, US and Canada. We are shifting the location.
Okay, sir. Yeah. Okay, sir. So what is the business model of Kolapasi, sir? Because நான் ஒரு ஆர்டிக்கல்ல படிக்கிறப்போ கொலப்பசி ஃபவுண்டர் கிட்ட வந்துட்டு ஒரு ஓன் ரெஸ்டாரண்ட் இல்லைன்ற மாதிரி சொன்னாங்க. ஸோ ஹவு தட் மாடல் ஒர்க்ஸ்?
No, it's a so we don't own any of
Any,
our own.
restaurant.
It's a franchise or license model.
Okay, sir.
So we help other people start their own restaurants and run their restaurants without chefs.
Without chefs.
Yeah, so we are the only chefless Indian restaurant chain in the world at this moment.
Can I ask that secret, sir? எப்படி செஃப்லெஸ் ரெஸ்டாரண்ட்ன்றது?
அதுக்கு நீங்க 10 வருஷம் நான் பண்ண வேலையை நீங்க பண்ணணும்.
ஓகே.
புரியுதுங்களா? நீங்க காலேஜ்ல இருக்கீங்க. ஓகே, உங்களுக்கு ஒரு கேர்ள் ஃப்ரெண்ட் இருக்காங்க. ஓகேங்களா?
Girlfriend.
உங்களுக்கு கேர்ள் ஃப்ரெண்ட் இருக்காங்க வச்சுக்கோங்க காலேஜ்ல, ரைட்? நீங்க எப்படி அந்த கேர்ள் ஃப்ரெண்ட் கரெக்ட் பண்ணீங்க நான் கேக்குறேன் வச்சுக்கோங்களேன். If I know that, I would have corrected that girl.
Yes.
கரெக்ட்டா?
Yeah.
So in a nutshell நான் சொல்லணும்னா வந்து so இதுக்கு முன்னாடி வந்து so there are two types of business models.
Okay, sir.
One is create an expert and kill the expert. Create an expert நான் வந்து ஏதோ ஒரு ப்ராப்ளம் இருக்கு, அதுக்கு ஒரு எக்ஸ்பர்ட் தேவை, அந்த எக்ஸ்பர்ட் will go and solve that problem.
Okay, sir.
ஓகேங்களா? ஒரு ரெஸ்டாரண்ட் மாதிரி வச்சுக்கோங்க, ஒரு ரெஸ்டாரண்ட் ரன் பண்ணுறதுக்கு ஒரு ஷெஃப் தேவை.
Okay.
ஓகேங்களா? அந்த ஷெஃப் தான் ஒரு எக்ஸ்பர்ட், என்னென்ன சமைக்கணும் எப்படி பண்ணணும் எல்லாமே சொல்லி கொடுத்து பண்ணுவாங்க. ஸோ நீங்கள் க்ரோ ஆகிறதுக்கு இதே மாதிரி நிறைய எக்ஸ்பர்ட்ஸ் தேவை.
Yes, sir.
ரைட்? இது வந்து ஒரு டைப் ஆஃப் மாடல். செகண்ட் டைப் ஆஃப் மாடல் வந்து கில் த எக்ஸ்பர்ட் மாடல்.
ஓகே.
நீங்க எக்ஸ்பர்ட் இல்லாமே யூ ஷுட் பி ஏபிள் டு க்ரோ ஃபாஸ்ட். இப்போ டெஸ்லா என்ன பண்றாங்க? தேர் பில்டிங் ஆட்டோனமஸ் டிரைவிங் கார்ஸ். ஸோ முன்னாடி எக்ஸ்பர்ட் யாரு? டிரைவர். ரைட்? டிரைவர் ஓட்டினா தான் கார் ஓட்ட முடியும். என்ன பண்றாங்க? ஸோ தேர் கில்லிங் த டிரைவர், தேர் கில்லிங் த எக்ஸ்பர்ட். ஸோ நாங்கள் வந்து வி பிலாங் டு த செகண்ட் மாடல் கால் கில்லிங் த எக்ஸ்பர்ட் மாடல். பிகாஸ் இஃப் வி கேன் கில் தன் எக்ஸ்பர்ட், தட் எனிபடி கேன் ஸ்டார்ட் அ ரெஸ்டாரண்ட் எனிவேர் இன் த வேர்ல்டு. இல்லைனா people need to have so much of experience வேணும். இப்போ எங்களோட almost 100% of all our license owners, franchise owners have no experience in running a restaurant.
Okay, sir.
And they're running two outlets right now.
So
basically we have democratized.
Okay,
like how Google democratized information, Kolapasi is democratizing Indian cuisine, restaurant space where anybody without any experience will be able to start and run an Indian restaurant. இதுக்கு முன்னாடி வந்து ஒரு 5-10 years experience இல்லாம you will not be able to run.
கண்டிப்பா. ரைட்?
உங்க ஷெஃப்பை மேனேஜ் பண்ணணும், ஷெஃப்போட அவங்களோட பர்சனாலிட்டி ஹேண்டில் பண்ணணும், லைக் நிறைய விஷயம்,
இன்வென்டரி ஐட்டம்ஸ் மேனேஜ் பண்ணணும்.
ஸோ அதெல்லாம் வந்து we've solved. So we've solved a lot of problems for the restaurant owners. We've also solved a lot of problems for the customers.
Okay, sir. Okay. So that's how the business model works.
Yeah.
So how is your revenue model, sir? So Kolapasi is like by franchising illa vandu partnership.
So we call it as licensing.
Okay, sir.
So we don't நிறைய பேர் லைசன்ஸ் புரியாதனால ஃப்ரான்ச்சைசிங் we might even talk and use the reference, but the idea is a license. It's like ஒரு கார் ஷோரூம் மாதிரி.
Okay, sir.
Right? நீங்க like இப்போ ஹுண்டாயோ இல்லை ஹாண்டாவோ so you get a license to sell Honda or Hyundai cars. Similarly, you get the license from us to sell Kolapasi food dishes in your restaurant. So it is little bit lesser taxing than a franchise. In a franchise உள்ள போனீங்கன்னா உள்ள audit systems உள்ள அந்த complianceலாம் ரொம்ப டஃப்பாக இருக்கும். And first time entrepreneurs is very difficult for them to follow everything. So that's why we made it more easy for the people. So it's more like a licensing model.
Okay, sir. What is the total addressable market for Kolapasi, sir?
Okay, so I want to talk about a little bit about in the TAM again. So all these terms are like very stylish. What is a TAM? What is your BAM? All those things are very very stylish to talk.
Okay.
But as an entrepreneur, right? How do you define TAM? TAM, not total addressable market. Okay, so now how do I go to every city in the world and ask, நீங்க வந்து இந்தியன் ஃபுட் சாப்பிடுவீங்களா சாப்பிட மாட்டீங்களா? So okay, we are an Indian restaurant chain, correct? So who's our audience? People who want to buy Indian food. Okay, நான் அலாஸ்காக்கு போறேன், யாருமே அங்கே இந்தியன் ஃபுட் சாப்பிட்டதே இல்லை. ஓகேங்களா? ஸோ as an entrepreneur, should I go and ask, நீங்க இந்தியன் ஃபுட் சாப்பிடுவீங்களா சாப்பிட மாட்டீங்களா? சாப்பிட மாட்டேன் அண்ணா வந்துடும் அப்போ திருப்பியும். No. Right? That's not a work on entrepreneur. The goal is to go there and see, டேய் இவன் மீன் வறுத்து சாப்பிட்றான், சால இந்த மீனில் எப்படி நம்ம மசாலா போட்டு அவனுக்கு கொடுக்க முடியும்னு சொல்லிட்டு, that is the goal of an entrepreneur. So a lot of the new generation people, you guys get stuck with the idea that, இதுதான் என் மார்க்கெட்டு, அதனால நான் இவ்வளோ தான் பண்ண போகிறேன். No. You go define how you can expand your market. So in my mind, TAM is bloody 8 billion people.
8 billion people.
Yeah, if they can eat some food. அந்த 8 பில்லியன் மக்களுமே ஹியூமன்ஸுமே 8 பில்லியன் இருக்காங்கன்னா 8.5 இருக்காங்கன்னா அவங்க ஏதோ ஃபுட்டு சாப்பிட்றாங்க, ஏதோ ஒரு ஃபுட்டு சாப்பிட்றாங்க. இன்னைக்கு ஆப்பிரிக்காவில் அவங்க ஃபுட்டு சாப்பிட்றாங்க, அமெரிக்காவில் அவங்க ஃபுட்டு சாப்பிட்றாங்க, லாட்டின் அமெரிக்காவில் அவங்க ஃபுட்டு சாப்பிட்றாங்கல்ல, அங்கேயே நம்ம ஃபுட்டை வச்சு நம்ம ஃபுட்டை சாப்பிட வைக்க முடியாது.
That is the question.
Exactly. So I do not believe in TAM, BAM, SAM, blah blah blah. I don't believe in that. வெளியே பேசும்போது ஸோ ஜாலியாக பேசிக்கலாம், இந்த பிச் டெக்குக்கு பேசும்போது இவங்க இவ்வளோ பெரிய மார்க்கெட் இவ்வளோ சாப்பிடலாம். Because I'll tell you,
Yes, sir.
We just opened our outlet in Greenville, South Carolina.
Okay.
80% of our customers are Americans. 80 to 85% of customers are
They
Americans.
love Indian food, sir.
But they did not have an opportunity to consume Indian food in a format which they wanted.
Okay.
So we are the first, we are one of the first fast casual Indian restaurants. Fast casual Indian restaurant, you will be able to get the food within 2 to 3 minutes.
Like quick service.
Chipotle mari, Subway mari, ulla you can go. So in a model, US model, you ulla vandingna, you will be able. So we have introduced a new generation of restaurant model called STO model. STO na see, taste, order.
See, taste, order.
We have invented that, right?
Okay.
So see, taste, order na you can go inside Subway mari, the food is on display. You can see, you can taste, and then you're allowed to order. So you cannot order without tasting the food.
That will attract more.
Exactly. So enna avudna, it kind of educates the people of what Indian food is.
Okay, sir.
So if American vandanga, they get to taste everything. Avanga spice range ku mild, medium, spicy ku edha onu kadaikum. Adu vaangittu poidanga. Indians vandanga avanga spice range ku edha onu irukum. They taste it, they buy it and go. So we created the new generation of restaurant model called STO model.
You have been into.
So exactly, TAM ku dhaan solren. I'm going back to TAM.
Okay.
If ninga Greenville, South Carolina is a city where there probably 5,000 Indians are irukanga.
Okay.
Okay. So if I had done research, inga 5,000 Indians are irukanga, we can't go and open an Indian restaurant. I would be the biggest stupid in the world.
So restaurant business ku TAM endradhu we can't say.
அந்த TAM increase பண்றதுக்கு தான் வந்து you have to figure out a way. Either you have to be good in marketing, right? So நாங்க என்ன பண்ணோம், we create this model where it allowed a lot of new people to come and taste Indian food.
That were in the ST.
The STO model came in. Okay, so அதான், so TAM sometimes kinds of வந்து it'll blind you. இது நம்ம மார்க்கெட்ல சொல்லி நம்ம பயந்து ஓடிரும். But our goal was to go to US and take Indian food to the world, not just Indian food to Indians.
Okay.
ஓகேங்களா? ஸோ இப்போ மெக்டானல்ட்ஸ் இந்தியாவில் வந்துட்டு தேர் நாட் செல்லிங் பர்கர்ஸ் டு அமெரிக்கன்ஸ் இன் இந்தியா, தேர் செல்லிங் பர்கர்ஸ் டு இந்தியன்ஸ் இன் இந்தியா. ஸோ சிமிலர்லி வி வாண்ட் டு கோ அண்ட் செல் அவர் இந்தியன் ஃபுட் டு everyone, not just Indians there. Indians automatically they will come, right, and buy because they love Indian food. But our goal is to how we can educate Americans to eat Indian food. And that's how this model came into picture, and that's why we are the highest rated restaurant in every city we open. Neenga Melbourne ponga, Brisbane ponga, or any city you go, we are the
Kolapasi is the highest
always
rated.
most assured. Okay, we are the highest rated Indian restaurant in that city.
Okay.
Because people don't have much to complain. ஏன்னா நீங்க ஃபர்ஸ்ட் உங்களுக்கு வந்தோம்னா நாங்க சாம்பிள் டேஸ்ட் பண்ணிடுவோம். உங்களுக்கு பிடிச்சிருந்தா நீங்க ஆர்டர் பண்ண போறீங்க, பிடிக்கலாம் ஆர்டர் பண்ண மாட்டீங்க.
That's how the chain works.
Exactly.
Okay, sir. So what strategies have you adopted? நீங்க சொன்னீங்க இது மாதிரி லைக் அவங்க மோஸ்ட் ரேட்டட் ரெஸ்டாரண்ட்னு சொன்னீங்க, அதுக்கப்புறமேட்டுக்கு we have to create awareness to bring in peopleன்ற மாதிரி சொன்னீங்க. ஸோ இது எல்லாத்துக்குமே some strategies will be needed. So you have been into this field for the past 10 years. What are all the strategies that worked for you as a QSR restaurant chain or a single outlet restaurant?
Okay, fine. First, strategy ku munnadi, it's a business model. If your business model is right, you don't need a strategy. If your business model is right, you don't need a big strategy to get people in. Okay, like everything, your business model solves all of your problem. Okay, so let's talk about what problems do we solve for the customer. Okay, number one problem is called decision making dilemma. What does it mean? That means you go to a new restaurant, right? There are 250 menu items in your menu, right? You are glancing that menu for 5 to 10 minutes and still you don't know what to order because you have a certain expectation of a food in your mind. If I say biryani, right, your mind, you would be thinking about a biryani rice which is yellow in color, which is very spicy, Chennai style, right? And the cameraman might be from a different part of the country, right? He might be thinking, this is Andhra style biryani, so my biryani is more whitish in color, right? Too spicy. And the third guy who's editor would be from Kerala. His rice is very small, like chota small, is white rice. His biryani is white rice, less spicy and shorter rice grain.
Okay.
So there are 3 different pictures of biryani in each of our minds. So what happens when you order something and something else comes up on the plate and there is a discomfort, there is a mismatch.
For sure.
Right? And that is why we end up writing bad reviews because we expected something, we got something and there is a mismatch. So to solve this problem, we inverted the model.
Okay.
So what we said, why should people order something which they don't like? Why don't we build a model where people get to taste? Okay, now you tell me, you go to a shoe store, right? Would you buy a shoe which you don't like?
No.
No. You go to a garment store, Would you buy a garment or shirt or a pant which you don't like?
For
No.
sure, no.
So then why would you want to go to a restaurant and order something which you don't like because you don't know the product? So that's why we created this model where we first kill your decision to your decision making dilemma. So in Kolapasi, when you come in,
See,
right,
taste and order.
you taste the food.
You order.
So your dilemma on making a decision is gone. Right? If you like it, you're going to order it. If you don't like it, you're not going to order it. So that is the biggest problem we solved in the STO model, decision making dilemma.
Okay, sir.
The second problem we solve for a customer is time. Right? America is all the Western world is even more fast paced. Like people don't have much time. And most of the Western world work on an hourly basis. They paid on hourly
basis.
So 1 hour, if they go out, right? Oh, $50 to $20 of my time is wasting. So that's why the fast food culture and the QSR restaurants are galore in the US, in the Western world, because they value time. Right? So now let's assume you work in New York downtown. Like your lunch is 30-40 minutes. Like you have 40 minutes to go have your lunch. So what options do you have? You cannot go to an Indian restaurant because it will take 20 minutes to get food onto your table.
Okay.
So your lunch option, Indian cuisine is gone. So what are the options you have? Either you can go get a burger or a sandwich or a Subway or blah, blah, blah. You have only 4-5 options. So people want Indian food, but Indian food is not in that model to serve them.
Okay.
So that's why when Kolapasi comes into, since we are a quick service restaurant, you come and see and taste it, you get the food within 2 to 5 minutes.
2 to 5 minutes.
So now, suddenly, in the QSR segment, Kolapasi is coming and sitting with Chipotle, Kava, and other QSR restaurants.
Okay.
So we're solving two problems. We're solving a decision-making dilemma and we're solving your time. So within 20-25 minutes, you'll be able to finish your lunch and you can go back to office.
Okay. That's good. So நான் இந்த மெக்டொனால்ட்ஸ் ஓனரோட ஒரு டாக்குமெண்ட்ரி பார்த்துட்டு இருந்தேன். ஸோ ஹி ஹஸ் சால்வ் த சேம் ப்ராப்ளம் வித் மெக்டொனால்ட்ஸ். ஸோ தட் இஸ் வாட் யூ ஹேவ் ரெப்ளிகேட்டட்.
So you can say we have McDonaldized Indian cuisine.
Okay. So how much customer feedback is important to you? Because since it is a restaurant business, customer feedback is very important. ஒரு சின்ன ரெஸ்டாரண்ட் இதுக்கு கூட நெகட்டிவ் ரிவ்யூ கூட இட் வில் காஸ் அ லாட் ஆஃப் டேமேஜ்ல.
Okay, so you have to divide customer feedback into two sections.
Okay.
One is about feedback, one is about suggestions. Okay, so if your food is bad and they're going to tell you the food is bad, that is very critical. You need to listen to them. But you cannot listen to everything from your customer. Your customer will say, I want idli, I want dosa, I want naan, I want some other food, right? Because a customer wants everything under one roof. But that's not possible. Right? You will never go to a McDonald's and ask, I want a pizza there. Or you will never go to a Pizza Hut and ask, I want a burger there.
Okay.
But if you see in all Indian restaurants, right, they have everything. They save everything. And that is the problem why Indian restaurants are not able to scale.
So you have limited
Exactly. So an entrepreneur in this segment has to put his foot down and say, this is my specialty, because you cannot be specialized in everything.
Okay, sir.
You cannot be specialized in everything. So you have to take your specialty and you got to nail that down. You can't sell everything and scale together.
Okay.
You can sell everything and be in one place, maybe 2-3 places.
Okay.
Right? But you cannot scale everywhere with everything in place.
That's
So customer feedback is the most important thing. Provided you understand where it falls into the place.
Okay.
If you're going to listen to everything and everything a customer wants, right, then you're automatically making your model more bulkier and very difficult to scale. And too many items, and then what happens is people will start comparing your weakest item to a strongest item with your competitor.
That might be a big problem.
Your menu is very similar to your house. Right? If a robber wants to enter your house, he's not going to enter in your main door. He's going to crack open some window on the first floor, second floor.
Okay.
Right? So your weakest entry link, okay, gives an entry to
the competitors.
To the robber. So if you have any weak link in your menu, your customer is going to, you don't know what product your customer is going to eat.
Okay.
Right? He might come and order the weakest link in and then he's going to compare you with your competitor and he's never going to come back.
Okay.
So you have to make sure that all holes are closed. You have to sell what's your strength, where people cannot compare yourself with your competitor.
Yes, sir. Sure. So, ஒரு 4 வருஷம் பின்னாடி போயிடலாம். This time is COVIDன்ற மாதிரி வச்சுக்கலாம். The most affected business during COVID pandemic is food business. what happened to Kolapasi at that point?
Yeah, we collapsed. We had to close almost close to 8-10 outlets during COVID. We closed, and then we have to rebuild from scratch. So it's like, we're born again. We're born again. It's a rebirth for Kolapasi. We have done that 2-3 times.
Okay. So what's the mindset? ஒவ்வொரு தடவை இது நடக்கிறப்பவும் உங்கள் மைண்ட் செட், உங்கள் மென்டல் ஹெல்த் எப்படி இருக்கும்? லைக் you might have gone through lot of highs and lowsன்ற மாதிரி இருக்கும்ல. ஸோ ஒவ்வொரு தடவை ஹைஸ் வரப்பையும் சரி, லோஸ் வரப்பையும் சரி, how will you like take that?
You have no options. Like when you're only doing one thing, you have no other option. You have to win. Like இப்போ நீங்கள் உங்களை வந்து ஒரு காட்டில் போய் விட்டுறாங்க. ஓகேங்களா, நீங்கள் காட்டில் தப்பிச்சு வெளியே வந்தாகணும். You can't sit and think, what is my mental health today? Today should I get up and run away from the lion or tiger? Right? The problem comes when you have 2-3 options.
Okay.
எனக்கு ஒரு business இருக்கு, எனக்கு ஒரு job இருக்கு. அப்போ business problemனா automatically will drop the business. Okay. Because you have another source of income.
Yes, sir.
Right? So for us, it was a do or die. So we had to succeed. So there is no other choice. So my famous quote is one of my famous quotes, not mine. No.
Okay.
If you have a plan B, plan A never works.
For sure.
Never works.
Okay, sir. That's good to know.
So I did not think too much about mental health, physical health, that health, this health, and all stuff. Okay, everything is gone. I had the energy. That okay, let's rebuild. What's the big deal? At least I'm alive. I had a very positive mindset that thank God that I was not dead in COVID. Okay. So many people lost their lives, right? Me and Aditya, but we only lost our business. So what's the big deal? We are there, we are alive. As long as we are alive, nobody's going to take us out. So we built again from scratch. We built the entire business from zero.
Again and again.
We were doing multiple crores of revenue. We went back to zero, and now
you have been again 2 crores of business.
Multiple. We are into $1 million right now.
Okay. So இப்போ post-COVID வரலாம். Post-COVIDக்கு அப்புறமேட்டுக்கு like after the advent of Jio also, many like what to say, cloud kitchens are like happening now. For example, நிறைய Fazus, அப்புறம் Rebel Foodsலாம் வந்துட்டு இப்போ நிறைய cloud kitchen open பண்ண போகிறாங்க. How is the competition to you?
No, actually we are not in cloud kitchens anymore.
Okay, like but in the QSR'க்கு cloud kitchens.
No, probably probably we could say we are the grandfathers of cloud kitchen. We were the one who started cloud kitchen concept in 2013, 14, 15 itself. The word was not even there.
Yes.
So we were probably you were talking to the grandfather of cloud kitchen. We were the first guys to even do that. But right now we have moved away from the model because it is very difficult to sustain only in a cloud kitchen model because 30-40% of your revenue goes to your aggregator partners.
Okay.
Or your
40% minimum.
35 easily, and then you will have to advertise within their ecosystem, right? And they have to run some offers. So it is very, very, very. That's why you see even Fasos has come out and put some retail outlets right
retail
now.
outlets.
Now they're putting retail because they won't have a balance.
How do you see
because
this?
out of sight is out of mind.
This part.
So since our model we evolved to STO model, see, taste. We also used to run a cloud kitchen in Canada. That was the first outlet, and now we are moving to a different location.
Okay.
The reason is people could not have a great experience in a cloud kitchen because they cannot taste, they cannot sample the food. Since we've pivoted to our model, now we do only sit down restaurants.
QSR.
Yeah, QSR restaurants.
ஓகே. ஸோ நம்ம குவாலிட்டி கண்ட்ரோல் பற்றி கொஞ்சம் பேசலாம். ஸோ ஹவு டு யூ என்ஷூர், லைக் இப்போ நான் மெக்டானல்ட்ஸ் போனால் இங்கே இதே பேட்டி பர்கர் இதே தான் இருக்க போகுது. ஸோ சேம் ஹவு டு யூ என்ஷூர், பட் ஏன்னா வந்துட்டு ஒவ்வொரு குக்கிங் மெத்தடுமே டிஃப்ரெண்ட் இந்தியன் குசைனில். ஸோ ஹவு டு யூ என்ஷூர் த டேஸ்ட்?
No, we have certain processes and we have spice mixes.
Okay.
So whichever
own
country
spice mixes.
own spice mixes, our proprietary spice mixes, that has been shipped out to each country from Chennai. So we control the spice mixes. So we control exactly how it is to be done, and we have a process. And you or him, anybody down the road can come and cook. You get the same taste across the world.
Okay. So everything is manufactured in Chennai?
No, all the spice mixes.
Okay.
In Chennai, and then all the vegetables, meat and protein is all locally sourced.
Okay.
So each country, each city where they locally buy fresh proteins, meat, paneer, everything, and they cook it. Just the spice mixes goes from Chennai, so we can control the taste.
Okay. So you have been into this field for the past 10 years. Okay.
12 years.
12 years. Okay. Probably. So what success factor contributed to Kolapasi? ஏதாச்சும் 1-2 points. இதான் மெயின் பாயிண்ட் வந்துட்டு லைக் ஒரு கீ அவுட்லெட் வந்து சக்ஸஸ் ஆகிறதுக்கு இருக்கலாம், சம்திங் லைக் தட்.
No, we just stuck to our vision. Simple. Our vision was to build a chefless, scalable business model. So we were at it until we cracked. Because nobody else was able to crack it, and nobody else were even thinking in that direction. They were only thinking about how to find more chefs, how to train more chefs, how to make sure that you can scale with more chefs. When they were running in one direction, we were running in the opposite direction. So it's just one reason I would say is just grit. No matter what happened, we were not the smartest kids in the school. I'm very, very, very regular, normal. So we were just regular guys, but we had extraordinary grit. So not once in the last 12 years when we were very close to shutting down, me and Aditya had a conversation saying that, Macha, it's too tough, let's close. Not once. Even during COVID, before that, whenever the situation was tough, we were into debt. Too deep, credit card, this card, PAL card, all card, everything maxed out, jewels in the bank, we have done everything. I've lived like a beggar. Okay, outside I've been called, entrepreneur, blah, blah, blah. Inside I was a beggar. Okay, hardly any money. I've done that for many years.
Okay.
That's a secret. And, one more secret is, right, you got to learn to live different from the masses. I'll tell you how. Basic good example is, I still don't own a car.
Why?
It's not needed. So the reason I do not buy a car, because there is no necessary for it. In Chennai, right, when the traffic is so much, I would rather go in Uber or Ola, where somebody's going to drive, I get my time back, I can do my work. So I did not find a reason to buy a car. Not that I cannot buy a car. We can buy 2 cars. I can buy 1 car every day. Okay. But I did not have a reason to buy the car. And I didn't want to buy a car just to show off with my social circle that, hey, I need a car right now. I'm driving this car just to show off. I'm not living for the society. Right? I don't own an apartment or a house. There is no land or any property on my name. If somebody can find it out and let me know, I'll be happy.
Where did you put your money?
Exactly, because I did not want to, again, one of the reasons we were able to become good entrepreneurs is because we didn't have the pressure of the monthly EMI'S. Okay. So second philosophy, okay, to all people who want to start a new restaurant,
please.
Only God can save you if you have a house EMI. Okay? You will not understand right now. Maybe after 5-10 years, when all of your friends who become entrepreneurs and you bought your house, you bought your car, and you're still not able to follow your dream or you want to do your business, is because you have this bloody monthly EMIs which is killing you, right? EMI is like a tiger's tail. Once you catch it, you cannot let it go.
Sure.
So, if you're going to start a business, I would highly, highly recommend, do not get. Then you might say, oh, anyways, I am paying rent. Don't pay rent. Go stay in your mom's place. Go stay in your perima. Go stay in your grandfather's, grandmom's, somebody's place, and take a basement, take 1 kitchen, 1 bathroom, stay somewhere and build your business.
Okay, that's how business works.
Simple. Okay. One of the most foolish things, okay, is buying a house or buying a car on an EMI, because you're putting a permanent expense with that temporary income. Your EMI is a permanent expense. Your job is a temporary income. How does it even make sense for you to connect a permanent expense with a temporary income? A 4th standard kid should know that. Just because banks have created this great scheme for us that, hey, anyways, you're paying rent, you pay EMI, get this house in 20 years. Just do the basic math. Why would you buy a house after 20 years? Let's assume, after 20 years you want to buy a house. I have a house right now. Okay. After 20 years why would you buy my house which is 20 years old?
No reason.
When you can buy a new house. Correct? So whatever money you're going to pay for your house, if you add that, compounded for 20-30 years, right? That is nothing but inflation.
Yes.
So you have a 1 crore house. After 10-20 years, you're saying my house is 3 crores. Dude, you've lost money. You've lost money. I'll tell you how. Every 6 to 7 years, the value of $1 becomes 50 cents.
Okay.
So first 6 to 7 years, your 1 crore house is automatically 2 crores. So next 6-7 years, your 2 crores has become 4 crores. So in 20 years, your 1 crore house should be 2, 4, 8 crores, not 3 crores. And you're thinking, hey, I made 3 crores.
That's how not.
God bless you, my child.
Okay.
This is the EMI'S is the biggest scam which banks have come to take your money to make you work for 30, 40 years. You are not working for an employer, you are working for the bank. Because employers can change. Your employees can change, but your loan is not. Your loan is fixed, right? I'm sorry, I might sound harsh, but this is purely for the love of the new generation entrepreneurs who are going to come up. Okay, I don't have anything personal against you, so please don't take me wrong. Right? If you have a house, I'm so happy for you guys. Great, you love the EMI. I'm happy for you. But if you want to start a business, I would not advise.
Okay.
So don't comment. Chill, boys.
Okay. So one of the major problems in a restaurant chain or restaurant is the perishable item problem. ஒரு லைக் 3 to 4 days தான் அதோட வேல்யூவே இருக்கும். அதுக்கப்புறம் அது வந்துட்டு லைக் ராட்டன் ஆயிரும். இதை எப்படி நம்ம அவாய்ட் பண்ணலாம்? லைக் ஃபோர்சி பண்ணணுமா இல்லை நம்ம வந்துட்டு லைக் ஹவு டு யூ மேனேஜ் திஸ்?
No, first thing you have to do is first get your menu shorter. Okay. So your inventory becomes shorter, right? Okay. So the way we solved is, in a regular Indian restaurant, there is close to 250 stock keeping units.
Okay.
250 items in a regular Indian restaurant. We have less than 40.
Okay.
Because our menu is constricted. So it's very easy to handle 40, right? It's easy to handle 40 kids in a school than 250 kids in a school, right?
Yes.
So have a leaner menu, second one. And once you have good strong processes, like, if you can predict your sales, how much, then accordingly you can buy your raw materials.
That's how it works.
Yeah. So that's too advanced. That's too advanced of a topic to talk to our audience, because our audience are thinking about business. Now we are talking about a little bit higher grade syllabus right now for them.
Okay. What is the popular dish in Kolapasi?
The number one selling product is chicken chukka biryani.
Okay, chicken chukka biryani. Among Americans or like? Across
chicken chukka. In fact, in America, we sell more. The spicy food is selling more than in America. The number one selling product in South Carolina is Pallipalayam chicken, which is actually the spiciest in our range. That's the number one selling product.
Okay.
So we think Americans don't eat spice. It's not like that. They do eat spice.
So இன்னொரு ப்ராப்ளம் என்னன்னா, how are you innovating new dishes? ஏன்னா அது ஒரு பெரிய ஒரு ஃபேக்டராகவும் இருக்குது. டு சஸ்டெயின் இன் அ ரெஸ்டாரண்ட் பிஸ்னஸ் மாடல், யூ ஹாவ் டு இனோவேட் யுவர் செல்ஃப் இன் அ menu wise or food wise or dishes wise.
No, that's yes and no. Many brands don't do, like Chick-fil-A hasn't introduced a new dish for many years, and In-N-Out Burgers, Five Guys, right? They've stuck to they've stuck to their menu for many years.
Okay.
Most of the times you actually go to a restaurant for not the new dish. Right? You go to a restaurant for the taste. I want that comfort food. Okay, I want that taste. So I'm going for familiarity, not for innovation. Right? If you're in a different country and you're going to McDonald's, it's because you know how McDonald's burger is going to taste across the world.
Okay.
So it's more of a consistent and more of reliability. I know, okay, if I go to McDonald's, I get the same taste. I'm not saying it's good or bad. Okay, that's a different thing. You might like it, I might not like it. Okay. Okay, so that's the reason they go to a restaurant. But then some little bit of innovation is always needed. So what we do is we keep 80% of our menu fixed. 10 to 20% we keep rotating. So we have a separate R&D department. I head that. And we every 2-3 months we come up with some new dishes and we add, and whatever dishes are not performing well, we remove it.
Nice.
That's how we innovate. And not only that, the way we are innovating right now is we're building automatic cooking bots which can cook by itself.
Seriously?
It can cook by itself, and which we're about to finish that. In 2-3 weeks, we'll be launching that, the first prototype of Chukamatic. It's called Chukamatic, where you just put in the spice mix, you put in the chicken, it'll automatically stir, and you can control everything from an app. So I can control. Sitting in from Australia, I can control my US outlet on how long it should cook and when it should stop. Everything I can control from an app, and it has got video capturing capabilities where it will constantly take pictures and look at the consistency of the dish. Oh, if it's this much thick, it will stop. And it also has a temperature base. It also has a weight base. Like say if you put 10 kilos of chicken and after cooking it has to come to 8 kilos, right? The moment it hits 8 kilos, it will automatically switch off. So we are innovating that. We're about to release probably in few weeks. Not only that, the second innovation we are building is we're building an entire AI-enabled robotic kitchen where AI will know exactly what is the sales of last 5 Fridays, and it'll exactly tell how much to cook, and it'll tell you how much to chicken to buy the day before itself.
In a way,
Santhosh, you need to buy 600 kilos of chicken, 300 kilos of mutton. It'll exactly tell you how much you need to buy, what, and it'll tell you how much to cook. Or you need to cook 35 kilos of chicken chukka, you need to cook 20 kilos of palipalayam, because it'll do everything by itself and it'll also cook by itself.
Okay.
That's what we're building. We're raising a couple of $1 million, and probably 2026 the project should come out.
எனக்கு ஃபியூச்சர் நல்லா பிரைட்டாக இருக்குன்னு தெரியுது. பிகாஸ் இன் ஃபியூச்சர் ஃபார் ஷுர் robots will take place the role
Absolutely,
of chefs.
right. It has gone in every industry, right? So 10-15 years back we used to buy tickets from railway station. Today it's gone, right? And 20 years back, 10 years, 15 years back, we used to go to the bank to get cash.
Yes.
What happened to all the cashiers?
UPI.
ATM came in. Now UPI came in, right? So every 5-10 years, every industry will get disrupted.
Okay.
Right? So people will not be needed to do mundane work. If it is a mundane job, it will be replaced by somebody else.
For sure.
So that's going to happen in every industry.
So we speak about some franchise terminologies and how franchise work. In Tamil Nadu, for sure I can say franchise is one of the most abused words at present. ஏன்னா இப்போ வந்து நிறைய ஃப்ரான்ச்சைஸ் ஆப்பர்ச்சுனிட்டிஸ் கொடுக்குறாங்க, நிறைய கம்பெனிஸ் வந்து உள்ளே கொண்டு வந்துகிட்டே இருக்காங்க. ஸோ இஃப் ஐ வாண்ட் டு டேக் அ ஃப்ரான்ச்சைஸ் இன் அ QSR restaurant or whatever it may be, like in a salon business or anything, what should I consider first? ஒரு ஃப்ரான்ச்சைஸ் நான் ஸ்டார்ட் பண்ணுறதுக்கு முன்னாடி.
Okay. First thing is you have to look at what industry you want to get in. Okay. And I would suggest, before even considering franchising, all the things, right? I would suggest you guys go and work as a free intern in whatever industry you want to do. Like, like you want to be in salon industry or restaurant industry or tea, coffee, snacks, milkshakes. There's so many lassi shops. There's so many galore, right?
Yeah.
Whatever you feel is right or wrong, first go and work in one of those shops 6 months for free.
You learn a lot of stuff from there.
And then you will decide. Then you will have enough knowledge where you can go and ask the right questions to which company, and then you can decide. Okay. So very simple. Very, very simple. The reason is we don't have that experience in that field even to qualify or understand, ask the right questions to a franchisor. And India is a very new market for franchising. Right?
Yes.
Franchising is a very serious concept in the US. It's very, 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 very serious, and people have matured over the years. They've made all the mistakes, both franchisors and franchisees, they've made all the mistakes, and it's a very more of a refined model there. In India, it's a very crude model. So it's going to take 10-20 years for India to become like US, where people look at this as a refined model. It's going to take both from both sides. So nobody's right.
Okay.
It's like dating. It's like dating, right? You get to date and then you decide whether you want to get married. Okay. That's exactly what I'm saying. You first go and work in a potential
market
model, whichever you want to do. Work in that for 6 months, because first thing is, right, what happens is a lot of us, we get so excited because we don't know how difficult it is to run a restaurant or any franchise. Because first thing is, we've all been trained to be cool after Friday evening. Right?
For sure.
Friday, Saturday, Sunday means we are cool. It's the exact opposite in a business. Friday, Saturday, Sunday is actually going to be really hard, because when people are relaxed, we need to be busy.
For sure.
Right? So what happens is, you have all the energy, you've taken the franchise, but then you might not have the energy to work day in and day out for years. So most of the time, people fail is not because of the brand, is not because of anything, is because they do not have the energy to sustain.
Okay.
Right? Look at your college. You go to a college, same syllabus for everyone. Do you think everybody gets 80%?
No.
It's the same teachers, same professors. Right? Everybody passing? Everybody's getting 80%? Why? So what's wrong?
Potential of people might get varied.
Not everybody is serious enough.
Yeah.
Not everybody wants 80%. So just because you joined the college, can I tell you that you are serious? Exactly. So just because you took a franchise, how do I know that you are serious?
Yes, that cause.
So who's to blame? We don't know. Maybe the franchise is wrong. They're also new, right? We've also made a lot of mistakes. So we were also new. Maybe we are also wrong.
Okay.
But where do we draw the line?
That's what matters.
Where do we draw the line? If the person is not, see, I can give you a BMW car, right? If you don't know how to drive, you'll go and crash it.
For sure.
Correct? I'll give you a Maruti 800, right? But you know how to drive, right? You will not crash it.
Adedhaan.
Correct? So, putting the blame only on the driver or the car is not the point here. Are you a good driver and are you selecting a good car? That is the point here.
Okay. The combination of both will actually work.
And you don't have to, your goal is to not find the best franchisee. You find a decent, good enough franchisee whose value systems match with you first.
Okay.
Right? In our model, we don't sell Pepsi, we don't sell Coke. We don't even sell water. Water is free in all of our outlets. So those kind of things, those are the things which attract people to us. So when their values match with our values, it's a success. But then you come to our model and then you decide, oh, I want to make more money by selling Pepsi and Coke, then there's a mismatch.
Sure.
Right? So you find the only good advantage about franchise is that you don't have to make the mistakes they've already made. That is the biggest advantage.
Okay.
If you are willing to make all the mistakes, then don't take a franchise.
Okay.
You do everything, learn by yourself.
Your own.
But some people might not have the bandwidth to learn everything by themselves. So that's why I said, hey, you made all the mistakes. I'm paying you certain money to learn from your mistakes. And the biggest fault of taking a franchise and then not following the system is the biggest fault. Okay. What happens, a lot of people, they take a franchise and they try to innovate. They try to change. Oh, let me try this, and that's why they fail. Because you've paid so much of money to learn from their mistakes, and why would you want to do something different?
You can stick to it.
Exactly. So if you stick to the system, if you stick to the principles and values and what the brand is, there's a higher chance to succeed. And a lot of people think that just because you take a franchise, you have a 100% probability to win. No. If you don't take a franchise, your chances of winning is 15%.
What are the factors
I'll tell you.
influence?
That's what. So if you don't take if you're new to restaurant industry, you want to start a restaurant franchise. If you start by yourself, your chance of succeed is less than 15%, because 95% of the restaurants shut down in the first 5 years. So your chances, I'm even putting 10% extra because I'm thinking you're smart.
Yes.
So your chances to succeed and run your own restaurant is 15%. So when you take a franchise, the 15% doesn't go to 100. People think that, oh, because I took a franchise, I'm going to be saying, no. From 15, we are increasing your chances to 40 or 45%.
Okay.
The remaining 55% is still on your shoulders.
You have to work hard.
If you're supposed to open by 12 o'clock, you need to open your outlet by 11:45. If some people come and open by 12:45, 1 o'clock, what's going to happen?
The demand.
So whose fault is that?
The people who buy franchise.
Exactly. So there are a lot of parameters. We only think from, okay, this person taken a franchise, he failed. So there are so many other factors we need to look into. Did he open it every single day? Was he consistent? Did he have everything in the menu? Right? Was he treating the customers right? Is he following the standard operating procedure? There's so many other factors. That's why I say it'll take 10-20 years in India for it to mature. Okay. Both of them to mature. Okay. So there is no right franchisee, there is no wrong franchisee. Okay. There's no right franchise, there's no wrong franchisee. It's just a marriage between them.
Sure. So again back to business. So ஒரு franchise run பண்ணனும்னா in terms of ஒரு customer perspective, in terms of business perspective பார்க்கலாம். What are the potential drawbacks when choosing franchise? For example, if you are a business owner and you are licensing it na, what do you see as a failure or a drawback to give him as a franchise?
Of course, they might not be serious like us.
That might be a potential drawback.
So we are committed for 10, 20, 15 years for life, right? Okay. If you take a franchise, you might not be that committed, right? You might run it for 2-3 years and then say, oh, I'm tired, man, I don't want to run it, I want to shut it down. And then it's going to also affect our name also, right? Okay. So that is one. And you may not follow all the rules and regulations properly. So one outlet in Australia might be different from other outlets in Australia because you're doing it differently. So that is also a variable.
quality control is a variable.
Yeah. No, not just quality control. That's secondary aspect. Just you're not following the process at all. Like, instead of 10 items in the menu, you're keeping only 7 items.
அதுவுமே பெரிய ப்ராப்ளம் ஆகும்.
Right? So these are potential drawbacks of growth. Right? But the best part is you'll be able to scale faster.
Okay.
If I have to put all the money to open 10-20 outlets internationally, right, it's going to be very difficult.
It might lead a lot
then I'll have to go to a venture capitalist or private equity firm, raise a lot of money, and then the moment I raise a lot of money, then I become answerable to them. Then they might tell me, Santhosh, you have to grow at this pace. Then I might feel that, okay, growing at that pace might not actually be beneficial, but I have no other choice. I have to follow that.
So that's how. So I have to ask you one more question on quality control. So how do you monitor your all franchise? So you have some checks and balance, right? Like in the food இப்படி இந்த குவாலிட்டியில் இருக்கணும், இந்த இன்க்ரீடியன்ட்ஸ் தான் யூஸ் பண்ணணும், இந்த கன்சிஸ்டன்சியில் இருக்கணும். ஸோ ஹவு டு யூ மானிட்டர் திஸ்?
It's a very tricky question. We only make sure that they follow the processes properly. Okay, and it automatically happens in that. It's very difficult where you cannot, even as the franchise, nobody can go every day and make sure that you're cooking the same way every single day, every single dish.
Okay.
Right? The best way to do is we make it more simpler and simpler and simpler. So ours is majorly 2 or 3 step process. The spice everything is slow cooked. So we have a spice mix. Okay, and you slow cook it for couple of hours. Depends upon the protein meat. So since the process is very simple, there is not much difficulty in following the procedures for us.
Okay. So you have spoken a lot about mindset. So the grit and determination that you had. So is that something that is lacking in the current entrepreneur?
No, you cannot disqualify like that, right?
Okay.
Because we have to give them enough time for them to show their real face,
The potential.
Like they have to go through all the ups and downs to really see whether they have the grit or not, right? So we just cannot. So this is the classic rhetoric from every generation.
Okay.
What they say is like, oh, எங்க காலத்துல நாங்க அப்படி இல்லவே இல்லை, நாங்க ரொம்ப இதுவா இருந்தோம். Dude, because you didn't have internet. Okay, உங்க காலத்துல you were sitting in a tea shop because there was no internet, there's nothing to do, right? All you were sitting in a tea shop and eating vada and whatnot, right? But now the younger generation are actually smarter than the previous generation. On the downside, they have too many distractions.
So that might be a big
Our
problem.
generation, we had lesser distractions compared to the current generation. They have more distractions. They have more knowledge.
And more
They're way smarter than us. They're way smarter. They're way charismatic. They're way more entrepreneurial in nature. They're willing to take more risks than us. Because when we had, our parents were very strict.
Okay.
Now their parents are not as strict like our parents. Their parents are more welcoming to businesses and whatnot. So they have a great climate. They have a great entrepreneurial climate around. They have so many success to look up to.
Okay.
So when I started business, I was ordering books from Amazon and Flipkart at that time. There was no Amazon in India. Flipkart. There were hardly any Indian authors writing about business books. There were hardly any Indian companies we can look up to, which is scaled across the world for us to get inspiration.
Okay.
So it is very difficult in our time. But right now, there are so many other examples for the current generation. So if they can outwin their distractions and be more focused and today it's easy to jump into something else. I tried something, this didn't work. So it's easy for the new generation to lose track. So that is the biggest problem that they need to handle.
Okay. So இன்னும் ஒரு 3 to 4 yearsல how many QSR that we can expect from Kolapasi umbrella?
In 10 to 12 years, we'll have around 5,000 outlets.
For sure?
Yeah, mostly. If we don't have 5,000 outlets, then it's my mistake. I'll own it up right now. Our goal is to get to 5,000 outlets because we have a different plan for it. The reason is we won't have distribution across all the country, so we can become a healthcare company later. So we'll be solving health problems through food. So we're working on a concept called food as medicine. So we'll be able to solve your diabetes problem, your triglyceride problem, whatever inflammation problem through food. So for that, we need a widespread distribution of 5,000 outlets across all cities, all countries where you're traveling anywhere. We know exactly what food you want. We know exactly what's problem in your body. We know exactly what food to give you.
Okay.
So our goal is to get to 5,000 outlets. There's a big potential for that.
Okay.
Maybe it may take 5-10 years lesser or more. So, but that's our vision. That's our vision. Probably in 10-12 years. But right now we have the bandwidth to open at least one outlet. In next year we can open one outlet every week. Easily.
One outlet
every week we can open. We have the bandwidth all. I mean, the processes and everything is set. So right now we are going slow because we are learning from each market. Because it's easier to go in one place and learn, make all the mistakes in one outlet than open 10 outlets and make all mistakes. Because it's very difficult to come back and fix all the issues. So we are going slow with one and learning everything, and then we can go fast.
We finished this podcast by 2 questions. So, LRT na kekra ore question. So, if I want to start a QSR chain or a single particular brand owned restaurant, what should I have to do? Like, உங்களோட journey வந்துட்டு ஒரு 10 to 12 years இருக்கு. So, if I have to shorten it to ஒரு 2 to 3 years.
You have to assess what you have in your time. Like, if you are young enough, you have the energy, money and time, okay, build your own brand.
Okay.
It's going to take 10-15 years for sure. At least 5 years. I'm assuming you're double smarter than me. At least 5 years. It took me 10 years. It took me and Aditya 10 years. I'm assuming you have double smarter than me. At least 5 years you will take for you to do that. But if you do not have the time, energy and the money bandwidth right now, you partner with somebody and grow along with them. Simple. Sure. Either you create the stock or you buy the stock.
That's how it works.
You create the stock or you buy the stock.
For sure. Yeah. So, any suggestions for budding entrepreneurs in this restaurant industry? Or common?
No, it's not about restaurant industry. I don't want to box them into. I don't want everybody to just go start a restaurant. That's not the goal right now. First, I think I would advise you guys to buy my book. I've already put all those things in the book because I used to speak at so many other colleges. I'm sure you know.
Yes,
right?
sir. Yes.
Most of the colleges invite me for. I've spoken at so many other places. So every time, whenever I go, at least 10-20 people will come up to me and ask the same questions.
Okay.
Same questions. Santhosh, I don't have time. I don't have money. I don't have support. What do I do? Right? I want to do this. What do I do? What do I do? So it's literally 10 questions. So I have all the answers for 10 questions in that book called Start-Preneur 0.0. The book talks about how to think before you start a business. How do you think before you do a startup? So I think I'm not trying to sell my book. Okay. I don't care less. That's the last thing I don't even know what's happening. So, but if you want to ask some questions, rather it's easy to get that book. Okay, it's 80-90 page small book. 2 hours you'll be able to get done. You will get your thought process right.
Okay.
The only difference between 2 people is like 2 people they have had same 2 hands, 2 legs, right? Okay. Both are engineers, right? Both have studied in decent schools, decent college. But why one person goes on a different track, becomes and succeeds, and the other person does it is the way he thinks.
His thought process.
Right? If you get your philosophy right, most of the things will fall in place. But then to even understand what I'm telling itself is a big task. It'll take a couple of years for people to understand what the heck he's talking about philosophy in business. Life revolves around philosophy.
Okay.
Right? Simple example, right? If somebody, I'm 42 years old, I've never spoken, I've never drunk, I've never had tea, coffee in my entire life till now.
Okay.
But if somebody else has to go through that, right, it'll be very difficult for them to resist.
Kandipa.
How do I not smoke? How do I not drink? It's because I have a different philosophy, right?
That great mindset.
The reason I did not even start is because I followed my dad. My dad never drank or smoked, so I followed him. And then after some point in my school and I was in college, right, that became a brand to me. No. Oh, Santhosh means he will not smoke or drink. And I love that. So it was easy for me to not to smoke because I don't want to
in the negative line.
Exactly. Put my personal brand on a bad reputation. Okay. So it was easy for me to not get excited. So because of my philosophy, I was able to easily avoid all these distractions.
Okay.
And side effect of that helped me in building a business because Friday evenings and Saturday evenings, I was not sitting and running around bars or pubs. I got all the time back where my other fellow entrepreneurs were spending time in pubs and bars, right? I had a lot of time. Me and Aditya, we had a lot of time in putting that time back into the business. So the lesser distractions, first you have to understand that, right? Everybody has only 24 hours. Everybody only has, nobody has infinite energy and infinite time. We have finite
Particular
time and finite energy. In that finite energy, how much of energy you're going to go towards your business will determine how successful you are. If you're only putting little bit of energy into your business and more energy into your distractions will grow.
For sure.
Right? You take most of them and you put into your business.
Okay.
So business is like a plant. The more you water, the more you take care of it, it's going to grow. The lesser you water, the lesser you take care, it's going to grow less. It's very, very simple.
Sure, sir. Had a good time with you and a good talk with you. Lot of learnings, lot of new perspectives have been opened to me. I'm sure it will be like very useful for our audience too. Thank you for coming. Thank you for the opportunity.
Thank you. My pleasure.
Sure, sir.